16.5 million doses.
500,000 doses.
Over
1 million doses.
4 million doses of Pfizer.
When it comes to
Doses of hope.
For months, the Morrison government has been criticised for being
not at the front of the queue.
And now we may have the proof. In November last year, Australia signed its first contract with Pfizer for
10 million units.
But emails obtained by Labor today revealed that 5 whole months before that, Pfizer contacted the federal government spruiking its winning vaccine, which could be
deployed at great speed.
It's not a race.
With the potential to
supply millions of vaccine doses by the end of 2020
and
produce hundreds of millions of doses in 2021.
It's not a competition.
On June 30th, Pfizer followed up to request a formal meeting with the Health Minister, but all they got was an introductory meeting with the Health Department's Assistant First Secretary. And on July 23rd, Pfizer even left a helpful warning. Other countries were on the move.
Pfizer has signed a deal with the US government to provide 100 million doses.
Britain now has 340 million doses on order for 6 different vaccines.
But it wasn't until the 4th of August that a member from Greg Hunt's office finally attended a formal meeting with Pfizer Australia.
These papers confirm that Scott Morrison simply didn't take Pfizer seriously enough when he should, while every other developed country on the face of the planet was busy securing early supplies of Pfizer vaccines for their people.
A spokesperson for the minister insists there had been constant informal engagements prior to that time and says that, as Pfizer has made clear, no earlier doses were available to Australia. In recent months, the PM's changed his tune.
Go for gold on getting those vaccination rates where we need to go.
But did Australia miss the starter's gun?
Dr Norman Swan, host of ABC's Coronacast, joins us now. Norman, you actually broke this story a while back now. Do you feel vindicated?
Yes. I mean, it's not a great story to be vindicated on. It would have been wonderful for our procurement to have been better than it is. But the story then is the story now I got from 3 separate sources, which was that they did indeed have an offer on the table, which was clear, and it's clear from these documents that there were vaccines available. They were looking for a deal, and it wasn't followed through.
So the government nonetheless still disputes this. They say Labor's just like a broken record on this. Their claims are already discredited, that both the government and Pfizer are on record saying that the formal discussions to purchase the vaccine happened as soon as the company was in a position to do so, that there was a vaccination task force set up to deal with this, and the person who was heading the task force did have the meeting with Pfizer, and that was on the 10th of July. So bottom line, this changed and would have changed absolutely nothing as far as how much we could have got and when we could have got it. What do you think of that?
It would be good of the government to release the documents which show their scientific advice. They've kept those secret. And if it was scientific advice that was based on evidence, and therefore they should release that as part of the freedom of information. And they haven't. There's no evidence really to support that contention. The documents speak for themselves. And Pfizer, if you read the Pfizer statements, they're very carefully worded, and Pfizer has actually never denied this particular story. They protected their relationship with the federal government, but they've not actually denied this particular part of the story.
So are you saying, Norman, that there are other documents that the government might be withholding?
Yes, if you look at Labor's statement, it's particularly the advice they received has been withheld. And this is a pattern of behaviour throughout COVID, is that scientific advice, we have premiers and prime ministers, particularly the prime minister and the health minister, saying they are following health expert advice. Yet we never see the health expert advice. It's kept secret at all levels, from vaccine advice to infection.
Looks like I know he's back.
The APC and all the secret. Sorry, was I falling out there?
Yeah, I think the government got involved with the NBN just there.
Another good rollout.
Norm, it's always good to chat, though. Thanks for your time. We'll keep on this story, and I'm sure we'll chat to you about it again.
Speak soon.
With so much content online, it's sometimes hard to keep up with it all. And let's face it, who has the time? The Project YouTube has you covered with the stories that matter. Hit subscribe for a daily list of the news that you need to know.